Looking at the GhostBSD download page, it would look like there hasn't been a new release for a long time. Almost coming up to a year. Well, I'm going to show you how you can get the latest release, and hopefully they'll make an official release soon. Right, we're going to go to the GhostBSD homepage. Let's type in GhostBSD, and there it is at the top. Right, so we'll just click on the top link, and it'll take you to the front page. Of course, very nice indeed. It's very stylish. Not overly complicated and hard to navigate. So if you go along to where it says at the top, download, and it will take you to the last official image, the last official release. And like I say, it's getting a bit long in the tooth, almost coming up to a year. But it doesn't mean that GhostBSD isn't always getting updated. I mean, it is a rolling release type of operating system. But if you want to download one of the latest releases, without it being official, of course, you see that tab, it says latest builds. So if you click on where it says direct download under latest builds, and it will take you to this nice little index of downloads available. You get the XFCE and the Mate versions, and you click on the one really that you want. I'm going to select the Mate one, the sort of like default one, and we'll set it to download. And this one is dated about a month back. Not too bad at this time of the release of this video. It's about a month released, so it's fairly up to date, and we'll see what we see. Right, I'm going to I'm going to put it onto a USB stick. You can use whichever way you want. You can use Belena, Rufus, or Multiboot. I prefer to use DD. And it depends on which operating system you're using to burn it, of course. And with it in the test machine, we're going to boot up. Hopefully, the test machine works. It's getting a bit long in the tooth now. And I'll select USB. Like I say, your system might be slightly different, so you go through a different setup, but it's essentially you just booting from the USB stick. And of course, let's let countdown. It's not too long a default countdown. You can press enter to speed things up if you wish. And we'll just let it do its thing. I'm going to fast forward the vast majority of this loading because it loads the operating system into RAM. There you go. It's doing its thing. There we go. Almost done. And one thing I do like, it detects whether you're using VirtualBox or not, and then removes if you're not. And also detects and installs the NVIDIA driver, which is pretty cool. Something which I wish Midnight BSD would perhaps implement. They have their own little menu system at the beginning of installation, but this one does it automatically. I'm not sure if this detects AMD systems, AMD graphics card, etc. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. I only use NVIDIA, so it works flawlessly for me. And hopefully it boots up. And yeah, fantastic. Nice and simple, plain, but very tastefully done. Oh, I don't like about GhostBSD. There's a slow evolution over the years, and it's looking very good. You get the bare minimum with an installation, and you know way around the Mate system. You got your usual virtual desktops and show desktop there, and a select few of icons. I say it's not overly crowded. If you right click, it will bring up the usual menu, and you can change the desktop appearance if you wish, if that's important to you. You don't get a fantastic selection, not a massive selection, but they are very high quality pictures and themes that you get. The fonts look good. We'll just select LCDs there, and everything looks okay. Right, so the menu it's not cramped, it's not overstuffed. They've kept it minimum. For some various graphics tools, internet, of course. Office could do with a word processor. That's one beef that always gets me. Sound and video, I mean. System tools, and yeah, the bare minimum. And we'll have a look at, I don't know why we're going to do this at this moment in time, but we'll have a look at the system monitor. And as you can imagine, a lot of the resources are getting used up because it's RAM resident at the moment. And there's GhostBSD 23.04.23 and Mate 1.26.0. And it's based on FreeBSD 13.1 stable. And there's processors running if you wish to know. And the file system, well, there's not going to be much there, is there? So yeah, it's looking good. And we'll have a look at the preferences. These can be set during the when you go into the control center, which is that one up there, and everything's looking good. About Mate, you've already seen the version number, but we'll just follow an official look. It's 2023 Mate, yeah. So it's up to date. And talking of the controls, we'll have a look at this. I like the control center in GhostBSD. There's a few custom station tools, which we'll have a look once we've got it all installed. So they're very nice. Right, talking of installed, we'll get it installed. We'll click on Install GhostBSD. And I love this process. This has never really changed over the years. Well, there's one or two tweaks, of course. And it's extremely easy to do. And so you select the language you want. I've just seen English UK, but I can't be bothered to go down, so I'll just select English. And now, if I just select English UK or English GB, it would select the keyboard for me automatically. So I'm going to have to do it manually, but that's fine. So English UK, and there's the keyboard models. Let's see if they've got Sun. Not everybody does it. Some do, some don't. Have we got Sun Microsystems? No. Well, that's fine. I'll just next. And time zone, it's going to have to be Europe, of course. Like I said, if I shut the language from the beginning, it'll be automatically selected for me. There's London. Next. Full disk configuration or custom. Well, just full disk. And select the disk we want, which is going to be that ADA0. The bottom one being the USB stick. It's a single disk, but you've got the option to change it to various RAID configurations if you wish, if you're lucky enough to have all these disks. Pull name, you can leave it at default, which is ZRoot, or you can change it. Leave them two on default. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it to, I don't know, tank. Change that. Sometimes it gets a bit finicky if it's previous ZFS installed. FreeBSD BIOS. The only one selected is BIOS loader only. Well, that's fine. Put it in a root password. Take a note of this, because if you forget it, you're going to be goosed. So next, and we'll put in as details. Real name is RoboNuggie. I do like how it fills out the username automatically, which is very nice indeed. Put test. And password, again, take a note of this, otherwise you're not going to get very far. And super weak password, you know what you're going to do. And then it gets underway. And we'll fast forward it. It can take a while, depends on your hardware. And installation is complete. Would you like to continue or restart? I usually restart, so I'm going to continue. And I'll shut it down manually because it seems to be the manual way I'm doing it today. That rhymes. Excellent. Right, so before I do anything, I just need to quickly set up networking on this machine. And because GhostBSD is FreeBSD-based, it comes with a nifty little tool, or utility, called BSD config. So I'm just going to enter root, and then type in BSD config. And there we go. And you can change almost everything of a installed system, which is really, really handy. So I'm going to go down to networking management, or network management. I don't want to change anything. I'll change the device. And the only things I needed really to change was disable DHCP and put my own IP address. Of course, you can, on your setup, you probably don't need to do this. My machine is old and cranky. So I'll just change the net mask. But if you do, BSD config is a really good way of post-install configuration. And I don't think I'd change the gateway. There we go. And the name server should automatically, yeah, it has done. And host name is that. And I'll just bring it back up again. Just go into it and come out and it'll start it up. Then that should be enough. You can change other things, of course, what startup and disk management. So, it's a really good tool. So I'm just going to close that down. And then, yeah, it's up and going now. So let's have a look. And in the control center, which I love this, it's everything all in one little neat little area. You got backup station. So what I'm going to do now is, before we really do anything else, I'm going to create a boot environment backup, which is really just a snapshot of the system now that it's been configured. And what that'll do is, if I manage to screw things up later on, which is not beyond the realms of possibility, it's one of the main strengths of FreeBSD and FreeBSD-based OSs that you get this nice little boot environment backing up. And there it is. So now if anything goes wrong, I just roll back to that and we carry on where we are right now. So as your print settings, I've not configured that, so it really shouldn't do anything. Software Station, which is GhostBSD's own GUI package manager, which is really, really nice. In the past, I've had one or two issues, not major ones, where perhaps it wouldn't load and then I had to refresh again for it to load up, but it's done it first time here. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of choice. The ones that are already ticked are the ones that are already installed. You get quite a large selection of applications, tools and programs, etc. that you can install. Let's have a look. What can we put on? Graphics. Inkscape, I think, if I can find. There it is. We're going to install Inkscape. Are we going to install anything else? We're going to put anything else. Yeah, we'll put Kdenlive on. So we've got Inkscape, Kdenlive, and if you don't want to search manually, can you type in the name of what you want at the top, and it will automatically find it. So it's, rather than searching through the entire menu like I've just done, just go straight to what you need. Sometimes, honestly. Yeah, so there's Odysee. So we got the three main essentials that I need, and we'll install. It does pull in quite a bit, so I should imagine I will need to fast forward. One thing about GhostBSD and FreeBSD, because, well, it's not the fact. Sometimes it can take a while to download things, so we'll see. And of course, the screensaver's kicking in, but it's a good time to actually show that it works. And there we are. So I'll just type in the password. So the screensaver and the power settings work. So that's something. And we'll just, yeah, there we go. And it should populate the menu straight away, of course. And there it is. There's it, Inkscape. Good old Inkscape. I like Inkscape. It's a fantastic vector drawing tool if you've ever used it. And there it is. Not used to it looking all dark, but that's pretty cool. And we'll just test this out. It's not a fantastic spec'd out test machine. It's got I think an NVIDIA 710, so the graphics wise it's a little bit sluggish, but it's enough for Inkscape. And it's an old dual core, so you'll be dazzled by my artwork and my graphic design skills. There we go. I'm just going to move it around. Twist it. Whee! There we go. And we'll put some shading on. Some nice fading in the corners. Nice. Might sell that as an NFT. No, I'm just joking. Right, so what next? So we looked at Software Station, we'll look at Update Station. Now this will only really work if there are any updates available. And it's part of like a trio. You've got backup station, update station, software station. And a new one that was added recently is tweak station, so that's pretty cool. If you want to set up your keyboard, it pops up now, there's no updates, of course it does. Where was he? Display keyboard. And you can change the layout post-install if you change your mind, or add a different keyboard, or add an additional keyboard, really. And we'll have a look to see if there's the option, so if you want to define some specialist keys. And we'll have a look. I always like to check whether there's a Sun keyboard support. And there's Sun, that's nice. And Type 7, yeah. So then just allows the various multimedia keys, power keys, etc. to work properly, hopefully. Keyboard shortcuts we don't need. Power management, well, we've just seen it with the screensaver, so it works. I'll just disable that. And I don't need to do anything else. Time and date manager. Oh, little NTP state error. Oh, no, it works. Don't know what that is. Network proxy, appearance. We've had a look at appearance before. And it would be nice to get some additional... well, that didn't carry over. That's unusual. No, it'd be nice to have additional themes going, but that's up to Eric. Some wallpapers, very nice and tasteful. I like this Fonda one. I'll put this one on. You can edit the main menu. Delete sections, add sections, etc. And change the notification settings if you like a giant pop-up or a small one, or a more subtle notification style. Screensaver we've seen. Well, we've seen it fade. Again, you've got a Norma, Mate, and Squared. It'd be nice to have a GhostBSD design logo one. Just saying. Station tweak is part of the station set of tools, which I think is a really good idea. That GhostBSD is forging itself its own custom tool set to get things done on the system. Very nice. So that's you got 4 of them now. So station tweak will let you change whether you want icons on the desktop, remove them or add them if you want networking. Or you want to show mounted devices, etc. You can change the interface layout. So this is the default, I think, the Mate desktop. You can change it to a Windows style, so it pops at the bottom. And there's the little, if I can click on it, little timer won't go away, little clock. It'll work anyway, I think. There we go. And we'll change it to element. I don't know which, but it keeps popping up. Oh yeah, that's very like Mac, I suppose. And you've got, is that classy? Well, looks the same to me. My untrained eye, of course. You've got purity. Okay, that's all right. And notebook. Oh, sorry, netbook. Which looks like the old Norm 2 way of doing it. Except for you missing a panel at the bottom. Yeah, very good. I like that. Just a little bit of customization, which you can change it to how you want. Good. And you can also change whether or not you want compositing on or off. With it on, it does lag a little bit, tiny little bit, but not too much. But it gives you a nice fancy shadow. Without it, it's faster, but kind of looks plain. It depends on your point of view and your taste. I'm going to leave it on. Yeah, I like it. You can change the button layout at the top, so it can go to the right or to the left, like Mac, if you wish. So yeah, I like that. Nice and simple, just to change the overall appearance. And you can change the Windows settings a little bit more in depth if you wish. You can change the compositing manager there. The About Me, in case you got confused who it was. Assistive technologies, file management, preferred applications, and startup applications. So you don't want something to start. This is the place that you can change it. Software, update station, I don't need to start every time. And the print settings now pop up. Well, it popped up slightly when I did it before. That's typical. Anyway, it's not configured, so we'll have a look at that later. Right, that was a quick look at the desktop. Right, so we're going to try plugging in some USB sticks. You can see there's one already in. That's the install media. That's the DA0. That contains the GhostBSD install image that we used at the very beginning. I've just unplugged it, and of course it disappeared, which is a good sign. And I'm going to plug in a Windows formatted USB stick. DA0, which is good. That's properly identified it again. Click on that, and it should mount it. So it's mounted and opened at the same time, which is very nice. I will unplug it, and I'll plug in the install media again, because that's the only two USB sticks I can find at the moment. Hopefully it comes back. He says, the anticipation. There we go. DA0, and it's the install media that we booted from. No, that's really good. I mean, that is, I mean, it may seem like a very simple thing to want, but you'd be amazed if your system didn't automatically identify and mount a USB stick when you really wanted to put some data on it. Very frustrating. It can be like that on FreeBSD. It's good to see that GhostBSD has automatically implemented it. So the next thing I'm going to check is a webcam. So I'm going to look at dmessage with a webcam plugged in, and then I'm going to unplug it and then look at dmessage again. It tells me it's detached. I'm going to plug it in again and have a look, and there we go. So it's the webcam is detected. Right, so what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to see if webcam it should be installed. I don't suppose it's running, so I'm just going to sudo service webcam restart. That's presumably it's running. And it was running, so that's good. And I'm just going to type in USB config. I want to find the UGN of the webcam, and it's 7.2. So if I put webcam -d for device and then tell it it's 7.2, it should start running with that attached, and the webcam should work in OBS Studio, which I installed off camera. And there it is. Not a fantastic image because it's situated at the back of the monitor, pointing towards another old computer. But there it is. You can see it moving around. I haven't configured the size of it or anything, but you get the gist. It works. And that's a Logitech C900 or something. I don't know. It's a Logitech. So that works nicely. I'm quite impressed by that. You just need to quickly configure webcam D to tell it which it's attached to. You could put that in a script when you start up, or you could configure it on the rc.conf if you wanted to. So look at cheese. And no, cheese don't like it. Cheese is cheesed off, I think. So very good. And have a look at Odysee, see where it picks up the mic on the webcam. Let's see if it does. So have a look at that. And we'll change the audio input to, that'll be the bottom one. And I'll just tap the camera. There we go. Bit again. Yeah. So it detects the audio in, well, it won't be very good quality, but it detects the audio from the webcam. So I'm quite pleased by that. Yeah. Right. I'm going to test the scanner. It's a flatbed Canon Canoscan LIDE 220. I think that's how you pronounce it. Or is it LIDE? Or LIDE 220. Works flawlessly some of the time. Flawlessly some of the time. But we'll see how it works. It's detected it, and it's on 7.3. So bearing that in mind, we'll have a look. And if we go down to Scanlight, which is a good reliable scanner that I use, scanning software that is, it should detect it. I think it has. And there's something in it, so we'll do a preview. And the anticipation is killing me. Oh, invalid argument. Interesting. We'll try again, and we'll see if it works this time. And invalid argument again. Okay. Well, the next bit of software we'll try is Scan Page. Let's see if that... well, it's correctly labelled as Canon LIDE or LIDE 220. So that's promising. But we'll see if... just scan this over there. Let's see if it does it. Invalid argument. Okay. Right. I'll change that to grey. A4, just in case this was the problem. And you're going to get them options. Okay. And we'll try again. No. Well, I don't think I'm going to get any scanning done today. That is a shame. So, we'll have a look at cups. And it runs by default in GhostBSD. There's localhost 631. And I'm going to find new printer to see if that works. No. Okay. Add a printer. I always log in using root. I don't know if you're meant to do that, but I found that it works better when you configure him. We'll add a printer, and it's detected fantastically. I don't know why it's given me 2, but it's detected the Xerox B230 printer. I'll go for the top one. It's probably the bottom one, but I'll go for the top. And continue. I'll share this printer. We'll continue. Make. Well, this is the thing. Unless I actually put in a PPD driver, which I can download from Xerox. No, it's not at the bottom. It's not going to list it, so I think in this case, I'm going to choose generic. Continue. And I know it's a PCL 6 compatible, so I'm going to choose that, PCL. And add printer and see if it works. Some set printer options. Change it to A4. Don't need to change it else. No. Set default. And hopefully this works. You never know. And print test page. Oh, looking good. So the B230 is a PCL 6 compatible printer, I think. It's taken a while. Hopefully it's probably come back with an error. Nope. It looks like it's done it, and the machine is whirring, so very nice. I'll scan the picture. And there it is. A printer test page. Fantastic. So, I mean, there's plenty of things I haven't touched upon with GhostBSD on this. It's not an official latest release, of course. It's kind of like a latest build. But that is looking very good. There was only one issue, and of course that could be my scanner, of course, but sometimes I do get that problem with FreeBSD, vanilla FreeBSD on its own. So maybe it's that. But when it comes to sort of the peripherals like the USB sticks, the printer was very, very good. I'm impressed. The overall system felt speedy, it felt responsive. The automatic configuration of the NVIDIA drivers, all of that is fantastic. You can feel the quality and the love and care that's been put into GhostBSD. I've always had a soft spot for GhostBSD. I've done quite a few videos for them. I think like 30 odd videos now. I think that's something like that. It is an operating system which showcases what FreeBSD and FreeBSD-based systems can do. It's beginner friendly. I call it a gateway operating system because it, easy to install, piques your curiosity, then lets you delve into a deeper depth of FreeBSD understanding if you want to do that. Because if you don't want to do that, you just want to use it as an operating system, you can do that too. But if you want to delve it a little bit deeper, it will enable you to. Brilliant. 10 out of 10. I will give it 5 robos. And congratulations, Eric, and the developers. You've done a fantastic job, and you can tell that you actually love what you do. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Well done if you've made it to the end of the video, and if you've found it useful in any way, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to make sure you don't miss future videos, then please click the subscribe button and the notification bell. This helps the channel grow so that I can keep on making content that helps the FreeBSD community grow as well.